7, 2.
Hey everybody, Terry here. I'm so excited about this episode. I'm here with my good friend Sarah Gordy, and we're going to be talking about how to live a life full of purpose and passion. Sarah has a great story, and you guys are going to be so pumped up. Sarah, thanks for joining. High five.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity.
Awesome. So for the people who don't know your story, I want you to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Get
All right,
comfortable.
let's do
get
it.
comfortable. So I want to share your story of discovering yourself.
Yes.
And in your story and online, you share how you've gone through some things and finding yourself. And a lot of people who watch us, they're still trying to figure out, who am I? What's my purpose?
Yes.
You know, how do I find my passion and turn it into something real? And all these things, you've gone through that.
Yeah.
So let's share a little bit about your journey and how you got into doing what you're doing now, which is transformational coaching.
Okay, great. So first of all, I grew up in Germany, born and raised in Germany, and my life there was very like how the Germans are, like very straight to the point, very structured and organized. So I actually graduated from school and I went to law school because I thought, that was going to be my path. But then I realized I don't like this. Like, I don't feel good doing it. And I just followed my heart and I quit, even though everybody told me, you're crazy. Like, my grandparents were like, oh my God, you just wasted 2 years of your life. And I was like, no, like, I don't think that I wasted that time because I really learned something about me here.
Okay.
And so that was the first step when I really started to do what just felt right. Even though like most people thought I was crazy, I just did it anyway.
Love it.
And then I just, I was just living my life, doing things, but I felt like, oh my God, there must be something more, right? Like, there must be more to life. And so I was just doing my thing, and then I met my now husband, and he asked me, what is your passion? And I didn't know what to say. And I felt so embarrassed about it because I was like, how do I not know myself?
Right.
But at the same time, this is when it really started for me, like the transformational journey, it really started for me because I wanted to find my answers and I wanted to know myself better.
Yeah.
And this is when it all started. And right before that, I was like going through a terrible breakup. I wasn't at a good point in my life. And that was just like the first step in the right direction.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's go right into it. So living a life on purpose and passion.
Yeah.
And I shared with you before we started filming that my mother told me a long time ago that your provision in life is wrapped in your purpose.
Yeah.
How true is that?
I think it's very, very true. And the problem that I see that many people do is that they're looking for answers outside of themselves. With Google and all the information on hand, it's like so easy to Google, what is my purpose in life, right? But I feel that if you really want to find these answers, like you have to turn inward. Everything you need to know is inside of yourself.
Love it.
It's just about really finding this connection and tuning into your body and listening to your inner voice and intuition, because we all have it.
That's right.
It's just that our voice and our ego is just so loud telling us, oh, you should do this or you shouldn't do that we don't really know how to listen to our heart anymore.
Yeah. So what are the steps? What are the steps for someone who's stuck and they're looking online, especially with social media? Sometimes it's like so convoluted where I tell people all the time, social media isn't real.
Yeah.
Right? Because I always say, like, who goes on social media and like, I just got a divorce or whatever, you know what I mean? Or, hey, I just lost my car, just got a repo. So a lot of times we look at social media and then we kind of see like, oh man, they're doing all these amazing things and they think that their life doesn't matter. Or they're trying to like compare themselves to other people. So like, what are the true steps to find your purpose, not looking at what other people are doing, but like you said, to look in yourself, but what are those steps to do that?
Yeah, I love that question. That's a deep one. So, well, first of all, I just want to talk to you about comparison real quick, because it's just so, like, everybody does it. I feel like, and we get so frustrated when we see other people that are doing similar things, but they seem to be more successful, they have more followers, and we get frustrated. But at the same time, I feel like you can look at it in a different way and just be like, wow, she did it, so I can do it as well.
I love it.
It's just like a little mindset shift, but it's just like, just see it as a proof that it is actually possible for her and for everybody else and for yourself. So that's just like a different perspective when it comes to comparison. And then it's really about, like I said, tuning in to your body and trying to find this inner voice and this inner wisdom that we all have.
Okay.
So how do we do that? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. It's just like paying attention to what excites you, what lights you up, like the things that bring you joy and happiness.
Yeah.
So whenever you feel that way, you can just pause for a second and be like, oh, okay, what is it that I'm doing right now? Because I'm enjoying this.
I love it.
And the things that you enjoy and that you love doing, they're directly related to your life's purpose.
Love it, love it.
So you should do more of that. And then at the same time, you can do the same process, but when you feel sad or frustrated, ask yourself, why am I feeling that way? Like, what is causing this feeling or this emotion that's coming up for me? And then if you can, just do less of that.
Love it.
And sometimes it's people, sometimes it's just energy suckers that are around you. And sometimes if you want to grow, if you want to evolve, that means that you have to let people or habits or thoughts go.
Love that. I love that. It's so cool, like you said, that energy that makes you alive and what lights you up.
Yeah.
For me, one of the things, like people ask me all the time, like, why am I, man, doing women empowerment? It's something, like you said, it lights me up. I love to empower. I've always loved to empower others.
Yeah.
Like my first book was called Stop Making Excuses, Get Off Your Butt and Fight for Your Dreams. My story is coming from the hood, from the projects. My mother had me when she was 16. Always share this story, but the most influential people who've been in my life, who's made a difference in my life, have all been women.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't realize that truly until maybe a month ago. I was driving, going to the office, and I was kind of like just searching in myself, and just like the light bulb went off, like, oh my God.
Wow.
And I started remembering all these different women figures who've been in my life ever since I've been a kid, who either one believed in me or just loved me as a mother, as a son.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, it makes sense. My mother, my mom was a single mother till till I was maybe 14 years old, and my grandmother's always been in my life. She's like my second mom, right? So these are the things that are the foundation of the whys of what I do. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
Find what lights you up.
Exactly. And then to come back to social media, there's so many amazing people doing amazing things, and if you just feel like you really connect, or something that someone does resonates with you, pay attention to that and do more of that. Read more about that. Find mentors, find coaches that are doing something like that, and then learn from them and share what you've learned, so that other people can benefit from that as well.
Absolutely. I love it. So let's go on. So let's talk about inspired goal setting. And it's something that you talk about, and I've never really heard it done or really heard it said in that way. People talk about goals, but then some people don't talk about the action steps either. So let's talk about inspired goal setting, but let's also talk about the necessary action steps. I like what Tony Robbins says, taking massive action.
Yeah.
So let's talk about those principles and inspired goal setting. What is inspired goal setting?
Well, inspired goal setting means that, you have a goal that excites you so much that every morning when you get up, you just want to jump out of bed and work on your goal. Work on achieving your goal, because...
Is it like that, like, woohoo, feeling like,
yeah, ideally, yes, that's what it's about, And I mean, you can say, I want to make, let's say, $10,000 a month, right? But if you ask yourself, is it really that number? Is it really the $10,000 that you want? Or is it, the feeling that you would have when you had that money? Or what would you do with it? And what would you do differently? Like, who would you be?
Love it.
So it's really about connecting to your goals on a deeper, more emotional level.
I love it.
And also because that's how the law of attraction works. If you're familiar with that, it's all about energies and vibrations. So if you can match that, it's just going to be so much easier for you to achieve your goals.
Love it.
So that is the first step, getting really clear on what it is that you want. Because if you don't know what you want, guess what? You're not going to get it,
That's right? That's right.
So clarity is definitely the first thing. And then, connecting to your goals on a deeper, more emotional level. How do you think you would feel if you had achieved that goal already? And then you can just, play with it and be creative, and, maybe you would feel free or happy or independent, whatever it is, and then make a list like of 10 things, 20 things that make you feel that way.
Okay.
And you can do that even before you've achieved that goal.
Love it.
Because when you do that, then you're operating on that vibration. And this is how the law of attraction works.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be so much easier for you to achieve your goal.
That's so good. It reminds me, like, I have a sales background as well. And kind of like what you're saying, it's not like just don't have a goal, but what does that goal do for you?
Exactly.
You know, what's the real, like the why behind the why behind the why? You ever heard of Simon Sinek?
Yeah.
That talk that he talks about.
Start with your
why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think this is like an amazing talk that he does. Everybody talks about it, but it's like the why behind the why. It's like, okay, this is why. Then, okay, why? Then why again? And then why again?
Exactly. And then you come back to your purpose and your passion. You know, it's all related.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's amazing. So, and at the end, we're going to have you do a whole recap of this too.
Okay.
Okay.
I love
so
it.
let's talk about how to move forward despite challenges or adversity.
Yeah.
You know, essentially going from where you are to where you want to be. What are the steps, again, for the person that's in a spot, whether it could be business, because a lot of times people come in here, we just talk about business, but shoot, man, relationships. You know, you've gone through some relationships. So we're talking about just principles that you can apply to anywhere in your life, business, partnerships, relationships, marriage, children, whatever. So let's talk about how to move forward despite wherever you are, whatever you've gone through, from where you are to where you really want to be. Not just where you like want to be, but like where you really want to be.
Exactly.
Like really, you know.
Okay,
So.
yeah, I love that question. So first of all, I would say it starts with acceptance.
Love it.
Accepting where you are.
Okay.
You know, because it's nothing bad, it's just your starting point. And then taking surrendered and inspired action towards your goals, and accepting what is, and also accepting how you feel. Like when, you know, a challenge or an obstacle, you know, when something arises, then you can really accept it and take responsibility for your emotion. Because usually, you know, we like to say, oh, I'm upset or I'm frustrated because of this, and he did that or she did this, you know. But really what it is, if you think about it, it's just a trigger, and it triggers something within you. And that is usually like an unresolved issue, something that you need to learn. Because usually it's also something that shows up in different areas of your life. So it could be your relationship, but then also maybe it's in your job. You know, it's like the same pattern, the same thing. And that is just an opportunity for you to really learn. You know, learn more about yourself.
I love it.
About what it really means to you. And taking responsibility. You're like, okay, I feel frustrated and I feel upset. And then just meet it with acceptance and love. You don't have to judge yourself. You know?
So good.
And then you can move forward because you've removed these blocks. You know? When there's no judgment, when there's no weird feeling about how you feel.
Love it.
Then there's no obstacle anymore.
Love
right?
it. Love it. So it seems like the core of it, and especially like what you teach, I'm thinking your clients, is really, like you said, acceptance and like honesty, being honest with yourself.
Oh my God.
Just complete, brutal honesty with yourself first. Because, and like listening to you, it makes me think about like even a relationship that I have, like with my wife, and like moving things forward. Like we're brutally honest with each other. You know, we said it where it's like, even if it hurts, even if it makes you cry, this is how I feel. This is my perspective. This is what it is. You know, so you have to do the same thing for yourself. A lot of times, like we go on, like I think like every day, whether it's work or whatever, and we paint these pictures or we've told these stories of who we are, and we begin to make what we've said like our truth, but then it's not really the truth. It's like, really look at yourself in the mirror, like, who am I really? Good or bad?
Absolutely.
How do I really make this change? So like you said, acceptance, accepting the good or the bad. I did that. I messed up. You know, I effed up or whatever. But then at the same time, accept the great things that you've done.
Exactly.
And that's the first step.
And I love that you said that, because, you know, the good and the bad, think about it. What does that actually mean? You know, this is something that your ego tells you. Your ego thinks in good or bad, black and white, that's your ego. But if you go, you know, if you do the deeper work and you realize that everything that's within you, like every human, our nature is true love. It's like unconditional love.
Yeah.
Every single person in this world. And when you realize that, you know, all the obstacles and all the challenges just seem to be so much smaller.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you have a fight and you know, maybe someone did something, whatever, if you just come back to it and see the loving presence, the loving essence in that other person, it just makes it so much easier to talk, you know, about your challenges and about your problems and why you might be upset.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we have to take a break.
Okay.
Are we still streaming live on the break?
Hi everyone, and welcome to Odiva TV. And right now we're in the Focus TV studios in Hollywood.
Happy Wednesday, Empoweristas. It's Alex Worley.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paffrath.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the world.
Hi, this is Alyssa Goodman Show, and I am Alyssa Goodman.
You're watching Beige Bay TV. It's fitness expert and your Beige Bay, Edwina Chia.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle Gillette with Focus TV, and this is the Spotlight Series.
Hey LA, I'm Gwen Lane with the LA Girl.
Hey everybody, Terry here, host of the interview series Success Beyond Beauty.
Hi, I'm Fern Olivia, and welcome to Central Intelligence TV.
Hi, I'm Janet Gunn here with Focus TV for my segment of Fearless Females.
Hey everybody, Terry here, and we're back having an amazing time with Sarah Gordy with an H.
With an H, yes.
With an H. Know
Very
this.
important.
Very important. Hashtag. Anyway, we've been having a great time. And how do people find you? How do people work with you, and what are the steps? Do you just accept anybody to work with you, like in a one-on-one? Because I know there's tons of people out there who are looking at this and like, I want to work with her. Give me her.
I would love that. Yeah. So, well, basically, I feel that coaching is really like a relationship. So you kind of have to be, you know, you need like the same energy. It just has to match.
Right.
And therefore, I don't work with just anyone.
Right.
But if I feel this connection, and if I get excited, because you know, at the same time, it's like, okay, yes, I'm going to teach my clients some stuff, but they're going to teach me something as well.
Right.
We're always student and teachers at the same time.
Love it.
So you can find me on wingsofavisionary.com. That's my company's name.
Okay.
And then you can just reach out and we can set up a phone call where we just talk about stuff, you know,
Love
your
it.
goals. And then we, you know, you just have this feeling if it's going to be the right fit or not. And if not, that's totally fine too.
Right, right.
You know, sometimes it's just not meant to be.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Find somebody else. No. Find somebody else, but it won't be Sarah. No, I'm just joking. No, thank you guys for watching this show. I hope you got something out of the show, something that Sarah and I have spoken about that have empowered you, that have inspired you to go after your dreams, to live your best life now. And I'm here to tell you that no matter where you are in your life, whether it's business, relationship, you can achieve exactly what you want when you take the necessary steps to go after it. Don't worry about what other people are saying or what they've said. Don't worry about the mistakes you've made in your life. Guess what? You're part of a journey. And I'm going to leave with this. A mentor that I had when I was a kid, he said, Terry, you are the makers of the dash. And at that time, I didn't understand what he meant when he said that until maybe a couple months ago. And I remember the conversation that he had with me when I was about maybe 16 years old. And he said, Terry, that dash represents on your tombstone the purpose that you made, well, the purpose that you set in this world, but the difference that you made in this life from where you were born to when you died. So we have the opportunity to make that dash mean something. So I just want to encourage you, what will people remember you as? What will they say your dash represents? You've heard Sarah tell you the exact steps to go after your dreams, to overcome obstacles, and to live your best life now. This is Terry signing off, Success Beyond Beauty. You're awesome, and you're a success beyond beauty. And Instagram.
Ooh, ooh.
Ooh. Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh my God, there's so much.